The 5 of you turn around and you see a figure holding the decrepit black wooden box that holds the Chaosium. The figure gives you a slight shrug and a smile. Sorry, ladies. This was so fun and all, but a job's a job, right? As you suddenly see a large sandstone door rise from the bottom of Madame Bula's vault, as Robin Banks quickly darts her way into the underground caverns of Cascasaria. The 5 of you are left inside the vault. What would you like to do?
Didn't I say that she was going to betray us?
We can't focus on that now. We cannot.
I try to find the entrance to the door to see if we can follow her.
We're going to die in here. This is going to be it.
The sandstone door has not gone away. It is still standing there.
Okay,
Yeah,
it went away. I try to get to the door.
Fair.
you do. You just all want to. You all want to start booking it down.
Yeah,
to the
I'll follow
caverns.
Betty. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Let's go,
So
guys.
it's open. The door is open?
Yes, it was a large kind of sand, almost like a sandstone.
It didn't appear. It just opened.
It rose out of
I
the
understand.
ground.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
it's leading down into the catacombs.
Well, it's obviously a trap. It's obviously people are going to catch us, but let's go.
Hannah, we're already running down the hall.
Fucking unreal.
While I'm running down the hall, I do want to do checks for traps, since I can do that.
Wonderful.
Trap expert.
Trap expert.
All right. Well, first roll of the day.
Get it, girl.
So what we say that was 2d6 plus I'm gonna say skill.
Okay, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. Skill is a 0, I'm sure. Yep, this is a 9.
You are allowed to ask me one question.
If there's a trap here, is there a trap here, and if so, what activates it?
You do not see a trap in these catacombs, but what you do see is a number of small poison barbs that Robin has dropped in her path on the ground in the caverns.
Guys, there's a bunch of poison barbs on the ground. Like, be careful where you walk. Don't just run.
Can we see Robin at all, even from a distance?
You cannot see her, but you can hear the echo of her footsteps. They are growing fainter by the moment, but you are headed in a small sandstone tunnel towards them.
I want to run as fast as I can
While avoiding
towards
the
her.
barbs?
While avoiding the barbs.
Roll me 2d6 plus canny.
Canny. Oh, yikes. Okay, that is an 8.
Wonderful. And yes, you have there is one reroll, but you have no tokens, Violet. With an 8, you start to bolt down this highway, going at full force, narrowly you are able to dodge out of the way of the bigger poisoned barbs, but unfortunately there are some that do get stuck in your feet, costing you 5 points of damage.
G-Z. D, I'm not going to make it. I just need you to heal me real quick. Or I'm just done. I need to literally stop. I just don't feel good.
Yeah, you don't look very good at all.
Well, I look good. I just don't feel good.
Your legs are all messed up and your hands look burned.
Still hot.
Sure, but...
Can you please just heal me?
Sure. All right, I'll be rolling for D to see if she can heal you with her heart stat. Look, I'm not feeling super good right now. Something about this. I'm just not feeling on my game. So I'm going to be able to get you, okay, just come over here. I'm just going to focus. I'm going to focus really hard.
D, this is literally your worth.
I know. Hey.
How?
Hey. Look, I have to call upon Narigoth whenever I do this, and sometimes that can be a little uncomfortable, and just with all this stuff with the old gods, it's just really irritating me today.
Okay.
So, here, just get over here. As you feel Dee's hands upon you, Hannah, you are healed for only 3 points of health. Look, I'm just trying to...
You're wasting my time, and I run past her and run through the hall.
You're just going to run through the hall?
Yeah, but I'd like to use some magic and move barbs to the side.
Roll me 2d6 plus skill.
Boop, boop. Shriven.
7. You do have you have 2 tokens.
It's not going to
Hannah. It's
make a
not gonna-
difference.
You do have a reroll.
Sorry, ladies.
No, this is helping us. This is help. Well,
This
not
is
you
good.
because you already ran. But
Still 7.
Still a 7.
Thank you for the reroll.
thank you, reroll.
With a 7, Hannah, you able to move the right-hand side of the corridor's barbs out of the way, but unfortunately, as you are bolting through, you unfortunately step on some as well. The smaller ones.
my gosh.
The ones that Robin knew that you would not account for, as you take 4 points of damage.
Well, honestly, it's for the best that I got healed a little bit.
I take my sword and I kind of like scrape as I go to be knocking things to the side.
Ooh.
Roll me 2d6 plus guts.
Okay.
Only do the left side. I got the right side. Ah.
Okay, so that is going to be also a 7 because it's 4 plus 3.
With a 7, unfortunately what you do, Braga, is you are able to knock them out of the way for yourself, but you have accidentally undid what Hannah's done, and so you've kind of created still a pretty large barb passage for Betty.
Oh, I'm sorry,
and D.
Betty.
And D.
That's fine. I want to use my kind of athletics to kind of parkour my way through the corridor and get through there as fast as I can.
Wonderful. Roll me 2d6 plus canny.
You're going to like spider like kids do in the hallway. Like,
Yes, that one.
ooh.
7.
You do have 3 tokens, Betty.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, chat. So 7, 8, 9, 10. Should I use all 10?
Oh, yeah, girl.
Yeah, because otherwise you might as well
I'm
use
not
it.
full health now.
You'd still do it.
Okay, I use my tokens. I use all 3.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you don't use any, if you only use 1 or 2, you might as well not use them at all. So
Yeah, that's
So
true.
you want to use all 3 tokens.
To be a 10.
Wonderful. With a 10, Betty, yes, you were able to nimbly, even though it is slightly kind of a darkened cavern, your eyes are able to catch a light on the outward ledges of the walls as you're able to kind of leap from ledge to clearing, just nimbly darting to and fro across the walls over the barbs to the clear part of the cavern's hallway. D rolled an 11, so D is just, you see D just, she is not, D looks at you, she sees you, Hannah, seeing you hurt yourself after she's just attempted to heal you, and you see her just take her scimitar out and just knock a bunch of these barbs out of the way and just clears a remaining path for herself.
I think that I motivated you.
All right, well, let's keep going.
here,
Princess.
Hannah,
Yeah.
climb on my back so you don't step on any more of those. Because I don't want you to get hurt. anymore.
I'm fine.
I'm just trying to help.
I know, and I don't need it.
You may want to say yes to that. Hannah, Hannah, Hannah. Am I far away? I'm guessing that I am Hannah.
You're the furthest forward.
Listen, I'm just gonna. You guys go ahead. I'll be there. Thank you, but you're in great health, and you need to go kick that bitch's ass. Go. I don't need to encumber you.
Are there any torches or anything down here so we can see, or are they? How is that looking?
I will say that yes, there is one torch. It's one torch per every long span throughout this cavern that are magically lit by a sort of mage light.
So I can't like rip one off the wall and carry it around with me.
You can try.
I'll try to rip one of the ones from where we've already come from, so I'm not messing up the light ahead of us.
Roll me 2d6 plus guts.
Okay.
Actually, roll me 2d6 plus skill.
All right, fair. Okay, so that's going to be a 7.
With a 7, Braga, you are able to rip. You're able to rip it off the wall, but unfortunately, you rip it so hard. You rip this kind of stone torch so hard that the mage light is then extinguished.
Oh.
When I have a club, I guess.
Well,
Can I do a fireball and light it?
Hannah, you really want to play with fire? Look, I have mage light. It's one of my abilities.
Well,
I have illuminate.
I went to mage you.
Yes, and that's really showing right now.
Excuse me? I'll show you magic fire, and I do magic fire.
Roll me 2d6 plus skill, Hannah.
If you light me on fire right now.
Don't you dare use your rerolls.
6, 7. I will use one of my tokens.
You want to use one of your tokens. Great, you have 1 token remaining.
So it's a 7.
Hannah with a 7. You are able to light the stone torch, but it's a little too hot of a fireball. As Braga, it singes you a bit for 2 points of damage.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Oh God.
I tried to help you.
I know, fucking Hannah. I helped you. Helped.
I'm gonna do a perception check.
Okay, you want to get situated?
Yeah, I'm gonna get situated.
Roll me 2d6
Yes.
plus canny.
Canny. Oh, 6.
And you have no tokens, Violet. There is one reroll.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you for that. As
Thank
soon
you.
as it is given, soon is taken away.
That just shows how necessary they are.
What?
5.
Mark experience.
Mark experience, and you have no idea of anything. You are just seeing, all you perceive, Violet, is sandstone cavern that appears to be leading forward to perhaps a bigger cavern.
I think at this point, I'm going to lean into my own baggage, my nature versus nurture. I'm kind of pissed off. I just got lit on fire by my friend, and this woman, this bitch just like double crossed us. I'm going after her. I'm just going to start charging. Because now that I've cleared a path and Dee's done that, I'm just running down with a torch. I'm looking for Robin. My sword in my one hand and my torch in the other hand. And I'm ready just to go nuts on her.
And you said you triggered your baggage?
Yeah.
You're triggering your baggage? Great.
Triggering my own baggage for storytelling.
We need only one more baggage, and then I get to make a GM move. Wonderful. Suddenly,
Sorry, y'all, but
you see,
I burned you, so,
you see
yeah.
Braga just almost as the fireball ignited the stone torch. Braga, you feel this ignition within your soul, this passion, this drive, as you just take off down this hallway and pass Violet while moving towards the edge of the cavern.
Fuck this!
Go, Braga, go!
I want to attempt to follow Braga because I see that she's gone into berserker mode and I want to help my friends. So I'm just kind of trailing behind her. Braga, no.
The four of you trail Braga as she finds herself in a small sandstone clearing with 2 different carved archways leading further into the underground, one to the right and one to the left.
Is there any chance that one of these are a mimic again?
You can roll 2d6 plus get situated and find out.
I was saying that to the group, but I am happy to double check.
Get situated. You can do it.
Roll 2d6 plus what?
2d6 plus your canny.
Which isn't bad. But I don't remember it off the top of my head. Bear with me. What's my canny? It's gonna be 7.
With a 7, you're allowed to ask me one question.
Which way did she go?
Yeah, which
I'm
way
I'm gonna say it's from the list.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I'm.
Gosh.
It's a good. All of a sudden, I hear this voice in my head that says, "Thank you. I should have."
Ladies and gentlemen, that poll should be starting quite soon if it has not started already, so be sure to vote in it. I'm very interested to see what you pick.
Because she's going to give us the answer we don't want here. What's the best way to keep the situation from getting worse?
Finding Robin as soon as possible.
How do I get out of here if my butt intact?
I thought she was going to give us the way to get out and not follow
that's
Robin.
easy to do.
I can't.
Can I also roll the get situated?
Sure.
And let me ask you, because I'm like in blood rust mode, can I use my seeing red ability?
I will say yes.
Okay.
Remind me what that ability is again.
It basically mitigates my negative. It gives me a +1, but I have a -1, so it kind of just erases that.
And can
negative.
I help Braga too?
Sure. Betty, roll
Yeah.
your bond
Yay.
with Braga.
Yay! Thank you.
Okay. That's 6, 7, 8.
Nice.
With an 8, Braga, you get a +1.
Okay.
Yay.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Ooh. Oh, that's a 10. That's actually 10 + 2 is a 12.
Woo! Wonderful. With your get situated, you can ask me 3 different questions.
Wait, was it 11? Sorry, because you had a +1 on my right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 11. Okay, 3 questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and it's from that list.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna say, how do I get out of here with my butt intact? I'm going to say what's going on here that isn't obvious to me, and then I get the bonus one of mine, which is I for weakness, which is what here is weak or vulnerable.
Whew. Start me off with those first ones again.
How do I get my butt out of here? How do I get out of here with my butt intact?
You pick the correct cavern.
Okay. What is going on here that isn't obvious to me?
Inside one of these two archways lies a foe. A foe you do not want to face.
Okay, and what here is weak or vulnerable?
You see that the archways above the two kind of forking cavern tunnels appear to have weak infrastructure. Thus, if you hit them, you could then barricade whatever is inside.
Okay. Betty, can you track? Do you know which way she went? Is there footprints? Is there anything that I'm not seeing here?
Yeah, I can try to track. I feel like two people just did guesstimate out.
I'm gonna say for you, it's gonna be we're gonna tap into your past. So I'm gonna say it's a skill roll.
Okay.
Because you are an excellent tracker, you are an excellent thief. You know how to pick up on the oblivious.
And Braga, did you relay the information you just figured out, or are you still in like a selfish mode or a bloodlust mode?
There's something here. I don't know what it is, but I can knock down one of these caverns, but I need to know which one.
All right, let me take a look.
There's something scary down here. I don't know what it is, but I'm scared of it. I don't want us to fight it.
I have 0 for skills. That is a 7.
With a 7, Betty, you're able to see Robin's footprints up until the forked cavern tunnels. There is one footprint you see with the toes forked to the right, though.
I think she went to the right, but I can't be 100% sure. It's really hard to see the footprints down here.
Okay, so if this infrastructure is weak, I say we just choose one, crash one of the archways, and it's not like she can get out.
But we'll get stuck in here.
Well,
just tell me what I'm hitting.
Let's just try the right. I was super wrong before. Try the right.
Try the right. Are you going to hit the right tunnel, or are you going to proceed down the right tunnel?
Proceed down the right tunnel, everybody.
Then I hit the left one as soon as she says that, because I'm like,
Oh, okay.
Roll me 2d6 plus guts, Braga.
Oh gosh.
I really hope we're right.
well,
It's a good thing. At least we trapped them. If it's not. I
okay,
think.
so that is a 8. 5 plus 3.
With an 8, you are able to, with kind of, are you using your axe or are you using your fist?
Do I have my axe? Because I didn't know if I had it last week when you, because
You have a
described
sword.
me having the sword.
You only
so
have a
I've been playing
sword.
as having the sword. Do I have my daggers probably under my dress? Or?
I'll say yes, you do have your daggers
But
under your
I think
dress.
I left my axe back because I don't think I had a place to hide it under
You
my
did
dress. Okay. So yeah, I hit it with the sword.
With the hilt or like with the blade?
I think probably the hilt because I wouldn't want to damage the blade.
With the hilt of your sword, Braga, you slam it into the top of the ceiling of this the left tunnel. You were hitting the left. It does not crumble completely, but enough of it starts to crack and fall into it, and that you've created a large obstacle for whoever wants to go down the left tunnel. Do you proceed down the right tunnel?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Wonderful. Who is the first in line?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Braga, as you with torch lit, baking your way down this tunnel, you see a flame in front of you. It starts to grow closer and closer and closer, but it doesn't appear to be just a flame. It almost appears to be somewhat molten, somewhat alive. And suddenly, you feel the flame in your torch go out as the being disappears for a moment. You hear the sludging on the ground.
Something's here.
And then in an instant, the magma elemental appears right in front of you. What do you want to do?
I swing at it.
Roll me 2d6 plus guts.
Yeah.
Cheesy.
Okay, so that's going to be a 10.
With a 10, yes, you are able to with your sword.
Yeah,
You were able
that's all I
to nail a massive swipe into the neck of this magma elemental, causing its head to start to slide and ooze off of its neck. But being an elemental, it is able to kind of slurp itself back into its form. What would anyone else like to do?
Guys, we don't have time for this. I think you can take care of it. I'm gonna go back the other way and try to track her.
Go.
I run back down the other way to try to get through the rubble.
Great, go with her or something.
Sure. All right. Okay, Betty, let's go.
All right, let's go, D.
As Dee and Betty make their way into the other tunnel, roll me 2d6 plus canny to see if you can make it over the rubble. Good thing you didn't roll a 10.
Yeah.
Oh.
They told me to do it.
9, 10.
With a 10, yes, Betty, you were able to kind of nimbly make your way through the rocks, and Dee is able to follow in your footsteps as the two of you continue down the left cavern tunnel. Violet and Hannah, you are still in the tunnel with Braga, who is taking on this magma elemental. What do you want to do?
I think you just need to kick the shit out of it.
That's exactly what I want to do. I want to kick the shit out of it.
You want to kick it?
Yes.
Great.
Well, kick its ass is really what oh, God.
Kick its ass.
Yeah.
Wait,
With your item.
I'm
with an
going
item.
I'm going to hit it with my I'm gonna hit it with my sword.
Great. Roll me 2d6 plus guts. You could try and kick it, just might not be a good idea.
That's kind of why I stopped her.
8.
Just for an update on tokens, Violet, you have 2 tokens. Braga, you have 2 tokens. Hannah, you have 2 tokens. Betty, you have 1 token, and there is 1 reroll.
I would like to use my 2 tokens for a 10, please.
Wonderful. Violet, where are you trying to hit this magma elemental with your sword?
I just wanna hit the meatiest part of it.
The meatiest part. Almost following up as this magma elemental is kind of slurping its form back together from the nasty blow that Braga just laid onto it. Suddenly, Violet, you come up on the left-hand side of Braga, then taking your sword and swiping and slashing this magma elemental in the complete opposite direction, disorienting the creature and stunning it momentarily.
Take that!
This magma creature begins to huff as it's having to reconstitute itself even harder now, having to focus all of its elemental energy. Hannah, what do you want to do?
I'd like to create a mirror image of myself so that if it were to hit me, it would want to hit the illusionary.
The illusionary Hannah. Roll me 2d6 plus skill.
One day I'll add to my skill. That's a 7, and I have 2, so I'm going to keep it at a 7.
Wonderful. With a 7, Hannah, unfortunately, you are not able to conjure the clearest version of yourself. Instead, what appears is almost this rippled effect Hannah, this very blurry, almost watercolor styled Hannah that's going to make it difficult for the magma to then pinpoint it instead of you.
It does. So when I roll, when it goes to attack me, though, so regardless, it just from manifesting it, I get to, on a 4, 5, or 6, the attack hits the illusion, and then on a 3, 2, and 1, it would hit me.
Oh, is that one of your abilities?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So I roll a D.
I would roll a D6, and it would determine depending on which one I roll.
Oh, wonderful. So yes, you've created this. In the meantime, you've created this watercolor version of Hannah,
Which is not good. It's fair.
which is not good. And unfortunately, as you are fighting this magma monster, the chaosium that has been stolen has now been seeping into these caverns. As Braga, suddenly you notice, as you try to draw your sword again, in an instant it shatters. Your sword is now broken, as the magma and the chaosium combined have broken your sword. Thank you for the chaos.
I stole it from a bard anyway. Or that, whatever, some asshole in a bar.
That's fair, but
Yeah.
still, we need your goddamn sword.
I see this happen, and I instantly, after I swipe, I instantly just go back down for another one
With your sword?
with my sword.
Wonderful. Roll me 2d6 plus guts. Braga, is there anything you're doing with the broken hilt of your sword, or you're just kind of sticking it into the ground?
I'm chucking it at the head of the elemental.
Let's just see how
Yeah.
Violet does
I got a
first.
9.
With a 9, yes, Violet, you are able to. What did you want to do? Just go right.
Yeah, I just want to like a clear, almost the same move, like just continuing the same movement after I swipe. I just want to keep going around and do it again.
Wonderful. As you keep coming around and doing it again, laying the same hit and swipe into this magma elemental. Unfortunately, while it is dazed, it was focused on hardening its core, and your sword is now stuck inside this elemental. You have, though, disoriented it somewhat. Braga?
I'm gonna take the hilt down like a blunt object on its head. So I'm holding it at the end of the handle and taking the part where the blade would have come out at right onto its head.
Wonderful. Roll me 2d6 plus guts.
Okay, so that's a 7 plus 3, that's a 10.
Dang.
With a 10, yes, Braga, with the hilt of your now broken sword, you are able to bring the heavy metal down onto the cranium, the magma cranium of this elemental, as you see the stone that was on the top of this elemental begin to crack as the magma then begins to start to seep out onto the ground. It is now struggling to continue, but it does notice you, Hannah, and it notices the two of you, Hannah, and it's going to come towards you now.
Cool.
Because I want to see this ability in action.
Okay, great. So I'm going to see which one it comes for.
Okay.
Depending on what I roll. It goes for the illusion.
Wonderful. So even though you have created this very blurry watercolor illusionary Hannah, due to this magma elemental's now current concussion given by Braga, it sees it as you. Both of you are looking quite blurry at the moment as the magma elemental suddenly charges past Violet and Braga and just goes and encapsulates and just immediately consumes illusionary Hannah.
It worked! I did it without my dad! And I grabbed the torch that was blown out, because I really don't have a good blunt force object to hit it with. So I grab it as it's doing that and beat it further down as it's going on its back.
Yeah. Roll me 2d6 plus guts.
Jeez. 6. What's our...
You have 2 tokens, so you can make it a mixed success.
Is there...
There is 1 reroll.
I'm going to take it, because I just want to succeed at this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, you have 2 tokens.
So we're going to make it a 10.
Wonderful. Hannah, with the stone torch... Now, and with the magma elemental consumed and now confused that the creature it just tried to attack has now disappeared from within its magma grasp, you take that blunt torch and just beat the shit out of this magma elemental's cranium as you see that the black cold and cooled lava that somewhat encapsulated this lava elemental's form begins to crack and disappear as the elemental simply becomes a pool of magma that then just extinguishes and steams its way out as
I'll
it cools.
make you disappear, asshole!
As you crunch, you just... Violet and Braga, you are seeing Hannah just relentlessly beat down this elemental until it is nothing but cold, black, cooled lava.
I kind of grab Hannah, comfortingly, and, kind of pull her away and try to, calm her down, because I recognize this, battle lust from my own history, and I'm trying to, before she hurts herself, I'm trying to, cause she's already in a lot of pain, so I'm trying to, calm her down.
No, I need to protect you guys.
You did, Hannah. You did so good.
No, I don't.
You protected the shit out of us. You just killed this monster.
Well, yeah, just helped.
You killed this monster, Hannah. You did that.
Okay, well, we have to go kill that bitch.
Let's do it.
You're right.
I keep the stone torch with me and, drag it, hulkingly. Because I'm also in pain.
You are in a lot of pain. Wonderful. As the 3 of you make your way out of the right tunnel and back towards the left tunnel, we cut to Betty and Dee making their way through the leftwards stone tunnel.
Dee, we have to get this goddamn bitch. She betrayed all of us. I trusted her. This is not the first time this has happened. It's definitely gonna be the last.
Betty, look, we all trusted her. We all were a part of this. We all went along with it. We all thought that we could trust this person because, I don't know, can we trust anyone, really? That's what I'm dealing with right now. I mean, Madame Bula came to me in that weird hallucinatory dream, but was it something I'm dreaming? Was she actually trying to talk to us? Does she want to protect her city? I don't know about you. I don't know who to trust right now.
I feel the same way. I know I can trust you guys, but anybody else, I don't know anymore. This is insane. We lost the Chaosium. It's gonna end the world if it gets to the wrong hands. We have to get it.
I know, and what scares me is that are we going to be able to trust anyone anymore? We can't go back to Palisades. We're wanted. There's sure to be some kind of trial. If they even find us, can we even go back home? We thought we were safe here. We thought this was going to be a nice vacation. We just pick up Chaosium and go. And
I guess I don't know. I'm not usually like this. I feel like I used to not trust anyone before, but then I met you guys, and it was okay again. It's been worse than this. We can do this. We just gotta, probably kill her though. Like I don't know. This is. I mean,
if we have to kill. We have to kill this bitch. We gotta kill this bitch.
Gotta get stabby. All right, let's go. I want to check the hall for any traps or get situated. I guess.
Great. Roll me 2d6 plus canny.
Oh.
Ooh.
Do we have any rerolls, or did Joss use the last one?
I mean, it was for a good cause.
She did kill off once.
There are no more rerolls.
Oh, man.
3, 4, 5, 6. I'll use my token for mixed success. Do I have one left, right?
You have one token left, yes.
Okay, mixed success it is.
You are allowed to ask me one question.
Oh no. I guess, how do I get out of here with my button tacked?
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, I'm looking for where Robin went, or traps, but how do I get out of here with my button tacked? Yes, that one.
You keep moving forward.
All right, Dee, let's just go. We have to get her. We have to get the Chaosium. This is too important.
Wonderful. You and Dee continue to make your way through the left tunnel. As the sandstone walls around you get tighter and tighter, you find yourselves at a very narrow exit. However, you enter onto a large dome-like clearing. But this room is significantly brighter than the smaller clearing you were in previously. As you look around your feet, you see hundreds, if not thousands, of small luminescent crystals glowing from the ground. Whoa. Each a twinkling, warm hue that you swear you can hear the faintest chimes coming from. Then, as you slowly gaze up, Betty, you and Dee pause in the splendor before you. In the natural formed dome of this sandstone cavern lay 6 enormous crystals in a surrounding formation. 5 of the crystals appeared to create a ring around the largest, fixated in the middle. You feel a very warm delight, happiness, presence, just by being in this room with these crystals, as their hue and hum seem to relax you, make you feel at ease, and make you want to stay here just a little while longer.
Oh, Dee, it's so pretty. I try to grab a handful of the smaller crystals from the grounds and hold them.
Great, I'm going to say you do. And as you hold them and you begin to feel happy and happier and happier, the crystals begin to glow brighter and even brighter.
Oh, shiny. I put some in my bag.
Dee looks around. You're able to put two palm-sized crystals into your bag.
Okay.
Dee, like you, looks around and This is there's some kind of, I'm detecting magic. There's something about these crystals. It's great. I feel wonderful. This is very nice. I mean, this just feels wonderful.
Oh, I just thought it was nice because it was so pretty in here.
It is very pretty and very relaxing, but there's something about, I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it. There's something about the crystals themselves. It seems to be drawing? I don't know.
I wonder if I wonder if Robin's in here. Maybe she stopped to look at these too.
And on that, you suddenly hear a thud coming from the other end of this large cavern. This large cavern is huge. It is ginormous, bigger than any other cavern, any other space that you've been in so far. And from very far away, on the very other edge of this dome-like, this large structural area, you see two figures. One of them is beating down Robin to the ground.
Hey, that's my job! I run over there to try to stop the guy.
You run over, and the figure turns and looks at you, and it is none other than Cold Snap. We cut to Violet, Braga, and Hannah now making their way down the leftmost tunnel.
All right, can we do a perception check? We need to know what's happening right now.
In the same tunnel?
Oh, yeah, in the same tunnel. Yeah, further down, right?
You're just, you
We're
went...
going down the left tunnel
Yeah, you went,
towards where they
you
are.
exited the right tunnel and you went down the
Going
left
in.
tunnel.
Thank goodness. Sorry, I was too focused.
Why do you always want to check things out?
I'm just nervous. I'm nervous.
You shouldn't be nervous. You're the friggin' leader.
I can't go over this with you right now.
I'm just
again.
saying you don't have time to be nervous. I can be nervous for us. I'm nervous. You can't be.
Fuck this, and I keep walking. I just
We're
like
all
charge on past
walking.
them.
We're all walking and talking.
I just keep running now because now I'm worried about Dee and Betty, so
right.
I just start running towards the room with the.
It makes
assuming
sense
pistols.
that you're going ahead because I can't move any faster than this. Not just because I'm frustrating. I get it. Am I alone?
I'm gonna wait with Hannah. I know that Braga's got it. I'm just gonna wait and walk slowly with Hannah.
No, don't. Keep walking. I'm fine.
I need you to just let me walk with you right now. That's what I need you to do.
It's a bad choice.
Well, you know what? I'm filled with bad choices. And sometimes, every now and then, a good choice comes out and we're okay. So just stay with me. And I'll stay with you.
This is awkward.
I just want to like pick her up a little bit by her elbows, just take some of the strain off of walking.
You know, you could offer me a bandage or something. You know, that might help or something.
Violet, roll me 2d6 plus heart.
Good. So that's a 6.
Yes, there is one reroll.
Depends on how you feel.
There is no tokens.
Cold snap.
Whatever you want. I know we do have cold snap. 6.
All right, that's a 9.
With a 9, yes, you are able to pick Hannah up. It's a little strain on you, but you're able to lift some of her weight and lift some of the pain off of her now feet, her legs that have been crushed from jumping into an elevator with locking her knees, and now being scarred on the bottom, slightly bleeding from stepping on barbs.
I'm fine. Thank you for your help, but I'm fine.
This is how we're gonna walk.
Okay.
This is how we're gonna meet everybody, just like this.
But they need you there.
They
Right.
need both of us there, and we're gonna get there eventually.
Don't you ever feel old?
Yeah, I feel old sometimes.
I mean, you're younger than me, but I'm old. Wait, are you younger than me?
Do you know what? I think let's just not. Let's just know that we're equal, and I love you. I don't know if I've told you that. Oh, God. It feels like I'm having a massage right now, but I'm not. It's just get emotional when my muscles are activated.
I heard about that they, like, certain muscle regions will trigger some long hidden trauma. Not that I have any of that, but I do, you know. I have a lot of trauma.
I know you do. We all do. We all do.
It's okay. It's okay. Makes us what we are.
Violet and Hannah, you two are the final queens to make it into the large dome cavern. You see in front of you Braga and then Dee. Dee looking forward onto a scene in front of her, Braga staring up in awe at the crystals around her as the two of you begin to stare up into the dome, seeing the 5 crystals surrounding the one large one in the center, and feeling better.
Is it possible that I'm being healed right now?
Wow. Gosh.
This is great. I love you too.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy.
I just am hard on you because I see you like a sister, and it's like
I get it. Exactly. Oh, what a good day.
yeah.
Can I see where Betty is and where Cold Snap is beating up Robin from where we're at?
It's on, you're even farther behind Dee. Dee had come a little into the cavern. You were kind of at the lip of it. But roll me 2d6 plus canny.
Is this a raw cavern or like finished? Like someone built this?
This is like a natural stone structure. If you've ever been to the Enchanted Rock in Texas, it is natural incurring caverns inside of a large rock. This one specifically seems to be a naturally made dome where these crystals have apparently made their home.
Like a geode, kind of?
Kind of.
I have an 8.
With an 8, you are able to make out Betty. You are able to make out 2 figures, one of which is Robin. You are not able to make out the figure, though, that is on top of Robin that is now looking towards Betty. We cut to Betty.
Hi, how's it going? Long time to see.
You see Cold Snap drop Robin's shirt from her grip as she begins to stand up.
So my grandpa was apparently at your resort, and he told me all about this really beautiful dragonborn woman who yelled at him, and because he was just being a big pain in the ass, and he got out of our care, and I'm so glad you found him. He wandered back to our room eventually. I'm so sorry about that. He is crazy.
Hello, Smidgen.
Hi. Hello. Yes, I am a Smidgen. That is, you're a Dragonborn. Very good.
I should have known that you were involved.
I didn't do anything. She was the bad person. I was chasing her.
I see she is a part of your crew.
No. She totally betrayed us, and she tricked us into coming down here and getting it for her. We were tricked. We didn't know what we were getting. This is crazy. There's a lot of stuff happening.
But it seems like tiny black box seems to be quite important around here, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know anything about that. I mean, she's no friend of ours. I came here to kill her because she messed with my family, and that's not cool with me. And while I'm talking to her, I'm trying to see is the box in reach? How far away is it from me?
It is. You're about 40 feet away from, Cold Snap is now slowly approaching you. You're 40 feet away from her, and Robin is kind of incapacitated on the ground right now next to the box and is about 60 feet away from you. So there's a big distance.
And how high up are the stones above us?
They are stories above
Okay,
you. This
it's
is
not
a
like 10
huge
feet.
room. Oh, no.
Okay. So, are we cool? Because I came here to... we can take her upstairs together, and, this is a whole misunderstanding for sure. Absolutely.
You see Cold Snap start to walk towards you as she then hits the mage armbands on her body as they start to glow, and she laughs. Yes, we are very cool. As she then immediately tries to blow her ice breath at you. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna use acrobatics and dodge out of there and jump away.
Roll me 2d6 plus canny.
I want to be jumping away, but also slightly, if she's coming towards me, then slightly start going towards the black box that's over towards Robin. I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm scared.
Ooh.
Is that plus canny? Yeah. 9, 10, 11.
Wonderful. With an 11, yes, Betty, you are able to deftly dodge out of Cold Snap's cold breath as you start to kind of go around her right towards the edge of the cavern where you see the black box from a distance. Braga, you see from a ways away now this figure is very clear. This figure is Cold Snap, head of security of the Iceverfell Resort. D kind of looks at you, Braga. I guess, yeah, is everybody after this thing?
I mean, it's a pretty powerful artifact, but I want that Robin so goddamn, so bad right now. I just go for it. I know that Cold Snap is, I feel like Betty kind of has Cold Snap distracted, so I'm going for Robin.
You're going for Robin?
Yeah. Great.
Roll me, I'm going to say, roll me 2d6 plus canny. Because Cold Snap is definitely going to see you coming towards.
Yeah.
You may want to engage.
Okay. That's a 6, so I'm going to use one of my tokens to make it a 7.
Wonderful. With a mixed success, Braga, you are able to storm your way towards Robin and Cold Snap. Cold Snap unfortunately catches you in her eye and now turns to prepare an attack towards you, surprised that Betty was in fact not alone, now realizing that more likely a gang of you is now here, as unfortunately Robin begins to come to and starts to see you approach.
My quarrel is not with you, Dragonborn. I'm going for the thief.
Yes, it seems like everybody has something to do with her. Yes, you want that box too, don't you? That's what you all want. You all want that box so you can unleash whatever is in it.
It's the exact opposite.
That's what they all say. As she then conjures an ice sphere, a battle mage ice sphere, and starts to throw it at you, Braga. What do you want to do?
I try to, I think I'm actually going to try to, catch it. I don't think I can dodge weight. I don't have the kind of canny to dodge that, so.
Well, you gotta roll me 2d6 plus canny to catch it.
Hey, Braga, just so you know, she does say, cool puns sometimes while she does the cold attacks, just she listens to them. I just got educated a second ago.
3.
Oh!
You see
No.
Cold Snap line up this sphere. And she said, forgive me of my manners. Ice to see you again. As she throws the sphere, this magical ice sphere. And Braga, you feel it pierce through your stomach.
Yeah.
As you take 6 points of damage.
Yeah, that's the thing that happens.
And you start to feel the blood seep from underneath your armor as this magical sphere then shatters. But you're still left with a huge gaping and bleeding wound.
At any point, is this melee loud enough, or Braga's her screams getting our attention, or reverberating in this cavern?
I will say we cut to Hannah and Violet and Dee, who saw Braga starting to make her way towards Cold Snap and Robin.
Look, there's
Dee looks at the two of you. Okay, this is looking really bad. Hannah, I'm gonna try really quick. Again. I'm feeling you feel it too, don't you? You feel like these crystals in here. There's something.
There is something. I almost feel healed, but my wounds aren't proving it. And listen, I'm feeling so good. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm sorry for the way I treated you.
I'm so
Not
sorry
just
too.
today, but yesterday. And the week before, and also trying to sexually advance on you. It was just, it's been a weird week. A month, really. So I just want to apologize. I'm sorry.
As the crystals near your feet, Hannah, begin to glow even brighter and chime even lighter.
I love you.
I thank you, Hannah. That really means a lot.
You shouldn't heal me, though. You should go heal Braga.
What? As Dee turns around and now sees Braga, as she turns around and looks at you, she sees in that moment the magical ice sphere then shatter back into magic as you are left with this gaping wound, as suddenly Dee comes running to your aid. Violet, are you also running into battle as well?
I am, absolutely. I'm still really happy. I can't wipe the smile off my face. Something about these crystals, but I'm ready.
What would you like to do, Violet? Would you, as you survey the situation, you see that Betty's kind of off towards the right, but you do see Cold Snap laughing as she's just landed a tremendous blow on Braga, and you see Robin slowly beginning to pick herself up off the floor behind her.
Let me know if this is too much.
Okay.
But what I want to do is I want to run towards Dragonborn. I want to go straight for the throat with my sword.
Oh.
And
Why are we killing her?
I don't. It's
but
hard to say.
she just
She just pierced our friend.
Yeah.
that's why I want to do that. And then I want to go straight for the throat.
You just want to go straight for the throat on Cold Snap.
On Cold Snap.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are one baggage away from me making a GM move, so if you'd like to help inspire that, I
Anytime
believe
now.
a few of our characters are just a few tokens away from having 5 and having their baggage activated. I just thought I would give that little heads up before you make this move. Great. You're charging at Cold Snap. You wanted to just charge up or you wanted to throw?
I want to
Forgive me.
throw.
You want to throw your blade into her throat.
Yes.
Roll me 2d6 plus skill.
Great. All right, that is a 12.
Violet, we see as Braga's kind of staggering now, trying to keep pressure onto her wound. We see Violet just kind of almost pass you in a moment, Braga, as she takes her sword and just with no avail simply throws it out as suddenly Cold Snap, who was busy turning around, checking on Robin, having been now distracted by 2 of the queens in battle, you see almost in slow motion as Cold Snap turns around, and within an instant, the sword is right in front of her and pierces her throat. You see her just kind of stumble around for a sec, Cold Snap trying to get her balance, trying to get herself situated. As she looks at you, you see her rip the sword out of her throat, take her mage hand, hold it to her throat, keeping the wound together as this blue magic. Now her bands are glowing even more furiously. Her dragon-like claw clutches her throat as she stares at you, and you can no longer hear the words coming from her mouth as her vocal cords have now been slashed. But she takes your sword and just... as she starts to chase and charge towards you, sword in hand with no abandon.
I'd like to hobble over there and get in the way of that.
You want to hobble over there and get in the way of that?
I want to stop it with the torch.
You want to stop it with the torch. Roll me 2d6 plus guts, Hannah.
What's your
11.
No, just wait. Just wait. With an 11, suddenly, in another moment of slow motion, we see Cold Snap, one hand, left hand on her throat, right hand holding Violet's sword, now charging towards her. As suddenly, in a flash, Hannah, you stick out the stone torch and stop, ting, the blade in its path.
Bitch. Don't kill my friends.
I need you guys to trust me on this. Coldstone, we know you're just doing your job. She's security. We're not the bad guys. We're trying to help. D.
She just stabbed you.
She stabbed you. She stabbed you.
She's doing her job. I feel like I'm doing the opposite of my nature versus nurture now because of the crystals in the room and because I know what's happening, and I'm like seeing this person who I know from Iceberfell is just doing her security job. So I'm like, D, I know this is crazy. You have to heal the Dragonborn. And I go running towards Robin after I say that. I'm actively showing her that I'm not attacking her. I'm trying to go for Robin instead.
We don't know who to trust.
Listen, you have no idea. Was it that box? We've seen it. We don't want to use it. We don't even know what that bitch wants with it, but she made a pretty penny, and I don't know who the fuck for. And I'm sure you don't want to bring out the end of the world, because that would mean you would die. We don't want that either. And I will kill you straight up right now.
Cold Snap lunges towards you. What do you want to do?
Take the bottom part of the stone torch and stab her in the stomach. Like as she lunges, I imagine she's shifting, and so I too shift and ram it into her.
Wonderful. Roll me 2d6 plus guts.
Let's keep this good roll rolling. What happened?
Oh, I turned.
That's okay, you weirdo. 6, 7, 8, 9. Any tokens?
You do not have a token, but no, there's no reroll.
It's okay. No, I don't need it. It's a 9.
With a 9, you are able to you swiftly turn around the stone torch and jab it into Cold Snap's stomach, knocking her off guard as she then falls onto the ground, impaling herself on the crystals on the ground. You see one of the crystals go through her lower jaw as she now lays dead, her icy blue dragonborn blood spilling onto the floor. Dee looks in horror as she had just been warming up her cleric hands, now cooling them down.
Bring her to life! Bring her back to life! You did it with me!
I'm not going to bring people back to life, Dee.
You're Dee!
Hannah! Sorry! Crystals. Braga, you try to make your way towards Robin, but unfortunately hearing the crack of Cold Snap on the ground distracts you as you turn around Betty. Unfortunately... Thank you, chat. Unfortunately, as you try to make your way towards Robin, upon hearing the screams of Braga and now hearing the collapsing body of Cold Snap, you are feeling even more guilty than the rest that a bunch of people you've never really known are now dying in the wake of the Rat Queens, and your naivete, your kindness, that innocence of Betty, it distracts you for a moment as you turn around and start to make your way towards your group once again. Unbeknownst to everyone here, Robin, who has been slowly raising from the ground in a sheer moment of panic, puts her hand on the latch of the box. No. And just closes her eyes, opens it for a moment, and closes it and slams it back down. But within that moment, an air of chaos has been leaked as this gray, snaky-like shadow begins to make its way throughout the caverns. And suddenly, in an instant, Betty, you see it first. You see this shadow just shoot its way towards Coldstone's body. The four of you now standing around Cold Snap. Pardon me, not Cold Stone. Cold Snap, not a creamery. As the four of you stand around Cold Snap, staring in horror, you start to see her tail begin to twitch.
Did you
and then her arm. And then her other arm. And then you see almost her very pearl, luminescent, like white scales with a nice blue tint start to turn black. Black with sapphire-like undertones, as you now see the breath, the cold, icy breath that left her jaw now turns into a dark gray smoke, as you see Cold Snap's hands pound into the ground as she lifts her body off the ground, both of her eyes glowing gray like hematite gemstones, as you still see the open wound of her throat still bleeding her sapphire dragonborn blood, as you see a smile crack across her face as her hands become full with necrotic blue energy. What would you like to do?
Well, I want to kill her. So now I just I don't have my sword, but I do just have my two daggers. So I just kind of try to finish chopping her head off.
Roll me 2d6 plus guts. This is my GM move, if you did not tell.
Oh, we got that.
You're a little evil right now.
Thank you, chap.
This is great. Okay, so that is going to be 6 plus 3, so that's 9, and I'm going to add my last token to make that a 10.
Yay!
With a 10.
Thank you, tokens.
With a 10 with your last token, that's right. Braga, with a 10, you are able to take the 2 of your daggers, and yes, with all the fury and might, you are able to slice and able to slice and decapitate Cold Snap's head.
Oh, God.
And as you do so, you see Cold Snap's dragonborn head tumble onto the ground with thud, thud, thud as the blue sapphire blood trails after it. You see her figure kind of stumble for a moment, disoriented. And then you see the smoke start to rise from within her as she looks up, and you see a skull of a dragonborn skull now formed in smoke, levitating off of her body. And she kind of now cocks her head 90 degrees to the right and looks at you, Braga, and charges towards you with one magical fist headed towards your stomach. What are you going to do?
I'm going to stick my daggers out in front of me.
2d6 plus your bond with Braga, Violet.
Betty yells from the sidelines, hey, remember there's something about light? Something about light, yeah?
It's a 9.
It's a 9. All right, so that's a +1.
Okay. You said plus guts?
I'm going to say, you're trying to, I'm going to say...
I'm like standing my ground and just like trying to stab her as she runs up to me.
I'm going to say, roll me 2d6 plus canny.
Okay, well, that's going to be a 12 minus 1, so 11.
So yes, with your daggers up, you're able to block Cold Snap, and almost in an instant, you're able to kind of break her stance with removing your daggers kind of in the moment as she's kind of knocked off of her balance. Would anyone else like to do anything?
Is there any light in here? Is there any light in the room?
I mean, these crystals are pretty luminescent.
Guys, I feel like the stones, maybe we should stab her with these?
Betty, suddenly... Thank you so much, Chad.
What have you done?
Betty, you look at Hannah. Hannah, you look at Betty.
What?
And you start to feel a combo coming on.
Ow, ow. Okay, fine.
Oh, you're super messed up, huh?
Yeah, it's okay.
Listen, remember the last time we saw one of these things? We had to defeat it with light, right?
Yeah, but my mage power's
No,
stuck
we're not
right
using
now.
that crap. Look, we have all these stones on the ground. Just focus. We have all these stones on the ground. They're luminescent. Maybe we could just smack them with these things.
What if I double my magic power with these?
Can you do that?
Yeah, maybe be nice to me, and then it will imbue me with the power to, like, do that.
I hold up one of the bigger crystals and... You be nice to me first.
You're adorable and...
Just infuse it so I can throw it, please.
No, you're nice!
Has
I love
time
you!
stopped, ladies?
It's still happening in 1 second.
I'll say, in this moment, in this moment, Braga, you were still in kind of a brace with Cold Snap. So, Hannah, are you infusing some of your magic into this crystal?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And Betty, you're going to throw it.
Yes. Ready?
I love you!
You're great. I love you too. Just be nicer to me. And then I just throw it at Cold Snap.
You throw it at Cold Snap, who is now in this perfect moment. Braga, you have broken you've block broken Cold Snap, who now tries to regain her balance, completely unaware of the flying crystal headed directly towards her back, where immediately you see her arc her back in pain as this crystal impales her from the back. The gray chaos slowly seeping out of her as the skull, the ghostly like dragonborn skull, screeches to the ceiling in pain.
All right, that was cool.
Yeah,
I'm going to deal with that
That's
bitch.
very spooky.
You see Cold Snap slowly turn around towards the both of you, knowing that was where the direction where this came from, as her haggard body starts to slowly drag its way towards you.
Brothers, we're going to... That was me trying to curse in a different way. Let's just kill her.
Violet, the head, the sapphire gems in the head.
Oh, that's exactly right. I want to pick one up and I just want to chuck it
At her ghost head?
at her ghost head.
Oh.
You mean a crystal?
Crystal.
Across the crystal, the Joe ghost head.
Yeah.
Roll me 2d6 plus skill.
Okay. 7, 8. 8.
With an 8, you chuck this crystal and it just goes right through.
Wrong
It's a
head.
ghost head.
Wrong head.
Hit it in its real head.
I'm gonna use my strength to pick up one of the light crystals and drop it on her dragonborn head with 2 sapphire eyes.
Okay. Roll me 2d6 plus. I'm going to say this is a 2-part move. So I'm going to
Okay.
say roll me 2d6 plus guts to see if you can kind of pick up one of these larger crystals as Cold Snap is slowly lumbering towards you. Her left hand, coated in her blue sapphire blood, now igniting this kind of blue-black necrotic fire.
You brought this on yourself. Isn't it ice?
I go for the side. That didn't make any sense, Hannah.
She got it.
She used the pun.
I got a 10.
Trying to distract her.
10.
So you're able to pick up the crystal. Still headed your way, Hannah.
Okay, I could take a bitch on, and I go to headbutt her.
You're going to headbutt the ghost head.
No, her head.
Her head is on the ground. There is a ghost head that is
That's
now
coming at me.
There is her dead reanimated figure with a gray ghostly skull head is headed towards you. Her real head is tumbled on the ground away from you.
I also misread the situation.
I cut her head off.
Understood.
Her head fell to the ground. A new head.
It's over here.
Understood. So what would
Yeah.
I go to tackle her then on the ground, so it's easier for Braga to impale her.
No, I'm dropping a rock on the
my
real
God.
head. So, okay, I decapitated her. Her real head's on the ground, and then her body is walking around with a ghost head on top of it.
Meanwhile, while you are all having this conversation, Cold Snap is not doing super well, but is slowly lumbering her kind of zombie reanimated body towards you. But you're able to have this conversation around her as she's slowly making her way towards
Great.
you.
I've decided to just distract her, like, come on, little kitty. and I'm trying to make my way to where Robin is, because really, she's the one who I want to get now. So I'm like, come on, little kitty, come on.
Roll me 2d6 plus canny first, Hannah.
I've been adding candy incorrectly all night, and that is an 11.
With your canny,
Finally, I'm worth something.
with your canny, you are able to look over, and you see that Robin's no longer there.
We were distracted! Damn it! And I take a full run. I'm still like, come on, bitch, follow me! But I take a full run to where I think Robin might have gone. Any indication?
There is a large tunnel opening at the edge of this final.
Okay, great. Can I notice the tunnel? Is the Chaosium gone as well?
The Chaosium is gone as well.
Fucking bitch. Great, cool. I run. I go.
You go, and I wouldn't say you are able to successfully distract Cold Snap as well as you kind of bolt towards the edge of the cavern. Braga, roll me 2d6 plus skill to see if you're able to line this. This crystal is costing you a lot of strength right now. You are bleeding from your stomach, so this is a very difficult move for you to make in the moment.
Okay, well, I rolled a 9 plus my 1 skill, so it's a 10. I rolled a 10.
Wonderful. Braga, with almost the remainder of your strength, you are carrying this crystal, but you can feel the sinew and the muscle from your stomach tearing even more as this crystal is just consuming all of your weight as you hobble over to the dead, still kind of flickering head of a decapitated Cold Snap as you then just stand over her head, release that crystal, and you just hear this disgusting crush and squirt of blue sapphire blood.
Yeah.
And in that moment, Hannah, you turn around and trying to beckon Cold Snap to follow you even more. You suddenly see Cold Snap's body fall to its knees, shuddering as it goes down, and then completely falls to the ground.
I did it!
As the gray chaos seeps out and above.
Good job, all of us, but I did it too.
Guys, we.
Do I take more damage as I wound opened up more as I'm carrying the
I'm
stone?
gonna say because it was a 10, you did not.
Okay. I mean, I was fine taking it.
D rushes over to the two of you. Okay, just get close to me real quick. Just get close.
I gotta get after her.
Go!
No, you don't.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
I'll go.
Bill for Bog, and I'm gonna heal you all first.
I'm fine.
Great, you can go. I mean, do you want to go alone?
No, it does not make sense.
It's better to lose this thing.
Look, she's clearly injured somehow, so she's not going to get super far. These caverns, I don't know. I'm going off of what I remember Rock telling us. These caverns only have 3 exits.
Okay.
But at this point, can we even trust Rock? You know?
I know. Do we trust Rock? Do we trust Baronin? Who do we trust? We
No
don't even-
one!
Okay,
Except each other.
We don't trust anybody, but just please heal my stomach, please.
Okay. You see D warm up her hands as being around these crystals somehow seems to amplify her clerical ability. She kind of looks as she starts to try and heal. The crystals around her almost start to glow as well as she extends 2 glowing healing hands towards you. Braga, you are healed for 3 points of damage.
It's better than nothing.
Putting you back up at 15. And Hannah, you are healed for 10 points of damage.
Okay, because I was healed that well, all of a sudden I feel a rumbling in my traveler's pouch, and I go to open it, and it's the once dead body of the fairy that I took that's now alive. Because she healed me so well. And we're in this cavern.
Hannah, I'm going to say because you did not even remember to pack weapons, you definitely did not remember to pack a fairy.
It's on my pouch.
Huh.
Question. Does Cold Snap have any weapons on her, or is she only using her magic stuff?
Cold Snap, as you examine Cold Snap's now fully dead body, you just see, the bands around her arms have now gone dark. She did not have really any weapons. You do see, I actually roll me 2d6 plus canny. She was a battle mage, and so those enchanted, those conjured weapons were what she relied heavily on.
Yeah, so that's a 1.
Yep, you were like, a 1?
I rolled a 2, and I have a minus 1 on
I
canny.
was like, you can't roll a 1.
Yeah, turns out you can.
In
Turns
dungeon
out you can if you have a
world.
malicious DM. It makes you run canny a lot when you have -1 on your canny.
That's what I do.
Yeah, it's great.
God, can I also be healed?
Sure. I will say this. D turns to you and is able to extend a healing hand onto you, Violet, for 5 points of damage. But almost as soon as D finishes touching you, you see her almost and you see her fall to the ground. Oh my gosh. You see almost like her skin is turning some kind of her skin is going pale. She seems to be almost like drained of her magic, drained of her life energy. Hannah, would you like to do a detect magic or any kind of arcana checks in this room?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Plus skill, unfortunately.
I'm going to say, it's plus skill.
That's a 6. What else? What's going on?
There are no tokens, no rerolls.
Well, I failed it.
You try to detect what's going on here, and it's just these crystals. It's a little too confusing.
I don't know. Maybe she just drained herself.
I scoop up D and start carrying her as we start heading out towards where Betty went.
Wonderful. D just kind of lays in your arms and is like, I don't know what's wrong. This is I've never felt this way before. I've never felt. I mean, I get drained. I get drained after I do sometimes, but I just oh my gosh, I've never.
It's okay. You did so good. You did so good for
Thank
us.
you.
We'll get you somewhere safe.
I don't know what this means. Okay, let's keep going.
Before we leave, can I take one of the crystals just in case it helps us later?
Roll me 2d6 plus guts to see if you're able to rip it out of the ground.
Wow.
6
Nope. It says just, you try to on your way out. You just kind of look towards the closest one towards you is a pretty big fat one, and you try and just grab it with one hand, and it is grown into the ground and is not moving.
All right.
For all we know, it could have been causing this. Maybe they're not good. So
You're right. Onward.
As the 5 of you now move forward towards the one singular kind of short tunnel leading out of the cavern, I believe it is time now for the second poll. So audience, please start voting in that second poll. Get that second poll started, because I would love to hear the results of that momentarily or within the next few minutes.
easy.
And we are less than 500. We are only a few hundred. I would say we're a little over 100 away. My math is real good. We're only a little over 100 away from reaching 500, where I get to make another GM move. So if you're liking what you're seeing, why not try to give our wonderful Rat Queen some more tokens? As the 5 of you, Braga, you clutch D in your arms, D appearing weary and weak, as the magic, almost all of her magic has been seeped out of her. The 5 of you make your way towards the edge of the cavern. And you find yourself in a very unique looking room. This one looking like a carved room, something that was carved out of the natural tunnels, out of the natural caverns that lie underneath Cascasaria. The other structures, the other small clearings, the large dome, had been very naturally built, naturally occurring. This room, though, looks specifically carved. As in the middle of the room is a large stone table carved out of the ground. Around the table, around this large circular sandstone table, are 3 carved sandstone chairs. There is a small fireplace in the corner carved out of the stone. There are some slight shelves carved into the walls where you can believe that a few bottles still remain, though covered in dust as having not been used recently. And you see, past beyond this room, 3 stone doorways that lead in different directions.
This is where they meet. This is where they all have their plans. They're conspiring against us. Baronin's also a liar.
It looks like this place hasn't been used in a long time. Let me check around and see if I can find any clues. I want to try to get situated, this room.
Wonderful. Roll me 2d6 plus canny.
Rerolls? Rerolls?
Son of a...
There are no rerolls.
6, 7, that's 8.
With an 8, you can ask me one question, Betty.
Okay.
Okay.
What's going on here that isn't obvious to us? Me.
Betty, while you do see that there seems to be dust over the bottles, this room has not been used recently. You see that 2 of the doorways you can see that the scratches from the doors being opened are in the sandstone on the ground. These doors being opened, the way the doors were pushed open has left carved marks into the ground, which symbolizes 2 of the doors being opened recently.
Which 2? Left and... Oh, okay. I don't know.
Just 2 of them. You don't know where they lead. It is the first 2
okay.
doors.
2 of the 3. Well, I don't think this place has been used as like a meeting place. Like, people aren't hanging out in here, but these 2 of these doors have been opened recently, so maybe
2 of them have had a meeting and are in cahoots.
Or remember that girl we're chasing, Robin?
Oh,
Maybe she left out one of those doors.
Don't be mean to me.
Robin may have gone one way, and Cold Snap may have come in the other way. I'm
That's
not saying
true.
that I trust Rock, but Rock did tell us that these tunnels connect all 3 of the resorts, and that and it would make sense that the 3 owners would come down here and
Connect
discuss their
here.
truce.
Great. I agree. I think Cold Snap came from somewhere, and wherever Robin's heading is who she may deal with.
Okay, can we try to figure out? We came from the Coca-Cola, and
let's get situated.
Can we try to figure out where they are in relation to each other and where we are on the ground?
Yep. Who has? What's that move? Get situated.
It's another get canny. I'm gonna say
It's a canny.
yeah.
So I have a +1. Who has a +2?
I have a -1.
I have a -1.
And I'll run it.
Okay.
I'll run the game.
I just did it so I can do it again.
Yes, roll me 2d6 plus canny.
See if I know what direction we're in. Ooh! 10!
Woohoo!
Yes!
Hannah, from visiting all 3 resorts, you are able to kind of remember in your mind's eye essentially where the Creoker crest was in combination with 3. You remember going down into the vault. All right, if you went to the left, then you probably were headed towards where this meeting room was, which is most likely centered in the middle of the 3 resorts, possibly under the Madagu Resort, which would only mean that the door most to the right would be entering onto the Madagu, thus turning right, entering the center resort. The door in the middle would then head towards the Iceverfell. But what of the third door? The third door that does not seem to appear to be opened.
Bula has nothing to do with this. I mean, she does. She had it.
We know she had it.
So, this is definitely the Madagu door, and this is definitely the Iceverfell door. Definitely.
Okay, which one of those doors now, based on what she learned, has the marks of being open?
Madagu.
The Madagu has been opened.
And so has the Iceverfell, is what you're saying. So, is there, because I got a 10, I get to ask you 2 more questions, right? Is there blood or distinguishing marks of, like, she's a human, right, Robin?
Yes.
Is there human blood trailing anywhere?
No.
I have one more question to get situated. What's going on here that isn't obvious to me? But what's a distinguishing factor that isn't obvious to me?
You are being watched.
Well, I think she's in here. Someone's watching us. Can I tell where?
No. You just have the sensation.
All right, come out here. We'll just fight you right like this. Don't be a coward, you little pussyfoot. Come on. Fight me. I'm feeling good. Wherever you are. Come on. Don't let this person think we're
I
scared.
look in the fireplace.
There's no one in the fireplace.
Is there a way that I can communicate with Betty without being noticed?
Roll me 2d6 plus heart. I'm going to see, depending on that, I will determine to see if Betty possibly could have taught you some thieves' cant. But depending on your relationship, on how close you're feeling to Betty right now, is going to determine if you're able to remember any of those thieves' cant symbols.
Can she roll her bond and increase it?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Rerolls?
There are no rerolls.
Oh.
Token? Not that it won't matter. It won't
Violet,
matter.
you have 1 token.
So that is a 4.
You are just like, Violet, you turn to Betty and just start yelling at her.
What the fuck?
Yes. Oh.
Well, you are short, so that does make sense. Like, and stubby.
Hey, do you guys think there's like a secret passage in here we're not seeing? Like, I don't know. This room seems real creepy.
We need to deal with the fact that someone is actually legitimately watching us. What if it's that Alexa girl? Alexa?
Her name was like
Artemis?
It was like like Stony.
Alanis.
Arsene.
Arsena?
You call it Arsena, but there is Arsena. There is no response.
That's pretty close. We got pretty close. Let's give us some credit. All right.
I would like to check the table around which the chairs are, just for any kind of traps or anything. Someone under it, or just that it moves.
Sure, do your trap check, Betty.
Trap.
Okay.
Trap. Ah!
That is an 11. Oh, it's plus. Yeah, candy, so it's like 13, 14. So.
It's like 25.
Okay, I can ask these. Is there a trap here? And if so, what activates it? What does the trap do when activated? What else is hidden here?
There are no traps.
Okay.
It is not activated.
Okay.
But Betty, as you look around, you look at one corner in particular, the corner of the room from where you originally entered. You've been focusing so much on the doors on the other side of the room, you have not really inspected the side of the room where you just came from. As you look behind you, you see a figure standing in the shadows. As it takes a step forward, upon locking eyes with you, Betty,
I grab some rope and I try to lasso that figure.
roll me 2d6 plus skill.
Hey guys, remember when we killed Cold Snap?
Twice.
Totally killed her. Oh my.
That's a 3.
Glorb.
I try to get a lasso going, but I put it on myself and I tie myself up.
Yeah, you try to get a lasso going, but you end
Tangle
up just tangling yourself in this huge amount of rope that you were just holding on to.
Oh, that was gonna be cool, guys, I swear.
As the figure steps forward, one hand on a rapier,
Oh, that's rock.
into the light, and you recognize it is the figure of Rock.
Yeah.
What are you doing down here?
Oh, Rock.
Oh, what are we doing down here? What are you doing down here?
I am inspecting whoever's been running through the catacombs. That has not been Baronin, Auden, or Bula.
You know that we are in the middle of a mission. Why are you asking us accusatory questions?
Because it seems like somebody else has gotten a hold of what you were supposed to get.
Not our fault. Maybe you paid off robbing banks in order to steal it from us. We've had to deal with so much shit, and you come in here acting like we're fucking intruders?
You are. You see her withdraw her dagger. She points to the door. You're going to Baronin's office. We have your little friend there. We're going to do some talking.
What little friend?
Yeah, also,
The
like,
girl who has the Chaosium.
Oh, great.
Thank you. Really? Do you? Because we were terrified.
Yes, because she decided to come through the Matagu, so of course we were able to stop her.
Oh, cool. We were trying to do that also, just so you know. Also, her name is Robin Banks. I'm not really sure why we trusted her. That was a whole thing.
I will say the
Stop talking! I love you, but stop talking. I'd like to check to see if there's anything about her that I can't tell. What's that?
Let's get personal with heart. Roll me 2d6 plus heart.
Fuck. What's my what's
We have no
You have none. There's none.
I want to disarm her.
Wait, Hannah, what did you roll first?
totally failed.
Great. You trust her.
Damn it!
Violet. Unfortunately, as you want to disarm her, man, you recall your earlier conversations with Rock. You recall the earlier moments where she provided you with the plans. She completely trusted you, and you trusted her. And it is that inherent trust, that almost familial trust, I should say, as your baggage is then causing you to trust Rock in this moment.
What we need to do is have a little faith, right? We don't need to just decide that we're against everybody, that we're against everything we believe in and value. This isn't a time to shave your beard in protest. This is a time to Rock, we hope. We trust you, Rock. Please don't betray us.
Here's what I'll say.
As you are still holding D.
Yeah. We didn't tell her that Robin had the Chaosium. She knew that. So even if she's planning on betraying us, following her gets us closer to Robin and the Chaosium.
We have to trust. Rock, we trust you.
Wow.
Don't let us down.
Don't speak for all of us.
Look, just get up the stairs, okay?
Then put your rapier down. Well, I trust you right now. So what? You know, I trust you. You trust me.
Can someone get me out of this rope?
Yeah.
As you untie Betty, you see Rock go and swing open the sandstone door that leads up a small, narrow stairway into Baronin de Bolbeck's office. The four of you, Braga with D, the five of you, D in hand, make your way into Baronin de Bolbeck's office. This very dark, wooden, huge, empty space except for a desk, a chair, a fireplace, and a familial portrait. As you enter the room, there are a few more pieces of furniture than you remember. You see in a chair right in front of Baronin's desk, you see Robin there holding the box, holding the black wooden box that contains the Chaosium. You see Baronin standing behind his desk. And as the five of you enter, being escorted from the rear by Rock, suddenly Baronin's office doors boom and fling open as Auden storms in, followed by Madame Bula Warma and Leon Redreed with his bow drawn. You see Auden, Baronin, and Bula form almost this triangle in the room, facing off against each other, with Leon taking his stance right by Madame Bula. Baronin standing behind his desk, eyeing the two of them, as Auden stands there seething, looking at the door, awaiting for his chief of security to show up, who is nowhere to be seen. The five of you are then escorted over towards the edge of the room. You see Robin's eyes following you all, as she just sits there, silently holding the box. Baronin laughs and smiles upon your arrival. Well, look, it looks like we did it. We have this thing here, as he eyes Auden and Bula. Now I've told you all, hundreds, not hundreds, they've only been back for a few weeks, but many times of what happened in Palisades, of what happened when that thing got loose. And I warned you, I said we must get rid of it, but the two of you are simply insufferable. Auden, having this seeming fire in his eyes, Braga, that you recognize from when he stood in his office. Braga, roll me 2d6 plus canny. Thank you for the 2 rerolls.
Yes!
Thank you, rerolls.
Shit's going down.
Ooh, okay. So I rolled a 10, but I lose 1 for canny, so I have a 9.
Wonderful. With a 9. You are able to see that Auden is holstering a weapon. You don't know what weapon, but you know that he is armed. And we are less than 100 away from that GM move.
Oh.
Please. Please. As we find ourselves in a standstill in the office of Baronin de Bolbeck. Auden, seemingly more antsier and antsier by the moment, looks at you specifically, Braga.
Yeah.
Because not only do you appear to be wounded, you are the individual who is most covered in blue blood. What happened? What happened, Baronin? Where is my chief of security? You gave me strict permission. She was allowed to go down into the catacombs to ensure that nothing was happening. And Braga. No. Graba. Doesn't know your name. Graba.
Wow.
Graba. As he says Graba to you, Baronin kind of looks. That's Braga.
It's a cute pet name. Oh, God.
It was a... Listen. We're gonna get nowhere quick if we're not honest with each other right now. I think everyone's in a poor position, and I think everything's got to be out on the table because no one wants to die. I don't want to die. You don't want to die. You don't want to die. I think we start with honesty, and we'll begin with Braga. Why did you use the name Graba?
I was just trying to enter the competition at the Eisberfell. We were just looking.
We were trying to infiltrate into your castle to see into your resort in order to see if you had the Chaosium.
We didn't know where it was.
And who put you up to this?
Well, in honesty, Baronin did, because all we could tell from as much as we know, his interests were of the best interest. If you don't happen to...
I knew that little drow shit was not to be trusted.
Again, you're getting really emotional right now, and what's important is that we all talk about everywhere where we're coming from, because I don't think anyone wants this to be a bad thing. I'm thinking Baronin might.
All right.
I gently put Dee down in the chair, by the way, so I'm not holding her still.
Auden,
Dee
listen.
Kind of sits there. You start to see the color in her skin start to return as she starts to kind of feel her strength come back slowly but surely.
And I put my hands up to imply like I'm not threatening you. I'm not trying to attack you right now. I only mean peace right now.
Auden, listen. What she said is technically true, but we've been looking for the Chaosiums this whole time. It almost destroyed our entire village. And then we've been searching around for more things. We know there's more. There's some prophecy attached with it. This is the truth.
Yes. All has to do with what Boule you were telling me about Arius, the old god, the agents of air, that stupid fucking cult that exists. It's powerful and dangerous
and real.
And real.
And Cold Snap was inhabited by them.
What?
She tried to kill us.
That's the truth.
That's the truth. She wouldn't listen to us. She wouldn't listen to reason. Robin, this lying sack of snake shit, could attest to that if she's worth anything. And Cold Snap just couldn't listen to reason. We weren't out to get her, but she stabbed Braga Graba, and she died.
She was possessed by the Chaosium.
Listen, Auden.
I don't believe you.
Listen.
You have no choice but to believe us.
You know that I lie with my name, but we have fought each other in the ring, and you know that I fight with honor. And you know that I'm not a liar because you have felt my fist, you have felt my muscles, and you know that I am not lying to you.
And to speak to her nobility, she was defending her until the end.
She tried not to fight her.
She didn't want to hurt her. Roll me 2d6 plus heart, Braga, to see if you can connect with Auden.
While they're talking, something kind of occurs to me. I start to stealthily take out the 2 gems that I took from that cavern, hoping they'll help diffuse the situation.
To bring light into the world?
I just take them out.
I love it.
That's all. They're in my hand.
So I only rolled a 5, and I'm going to use one of the rerolls.
Wonderful.
Reroll.
Thank you, reroll. Okay, so that is going to be a 9. Flat out 9.
The 9. You start to see these tears form in Auden's eyes as he looks at you. I can believe that you are an honorable warrior. Whatever your name is, Braga.
Braga.
But Cold Snap being possessed by this thing, I don't believe it.
It's not a discernment.
I sent her down to get it. And then you see Baronin kind of perk up. Wait, so you're telling me, Heath, that you said she was just doing a regular security mission. And I allowed you to enter. I allowed you to use my access way because I thought I was being friendly with you. But then also you come into my home, you come into my resort and call me a fucking drow, and insinuating that my race is not to be trusted. Auden, you are making a very grave mistake in a very, very bad place. You do not want to be in, my friend. And how interesting that your security guard wanted to get a hold of the Chaosium, because I too wanted to get a hold of the Chaosium because I'm terrified of what this thing will do. So of course, yes, I did it. I sent the Rat Queens after the Chaosium. Are we all happy now? Madame Bula, Auden, I just wanted to protect Cascasaria. And you see him lock eyes with Madame Bula. Bula, look, I've feel like you know me, you connect with me on that. You know my heart's in the right place. I just want to protect this place. I have so much invested here. We all do. I simply wanted to protect my assets. I wanted to protect this place. I wanted to protect everyone within it. And you know that the thing is dreams. And knowing that one is here, I have not been able to get a restful night of sleep. You see Madame Bula take a step forward as Leon takes a step forward with her, his bow still drawn. I appreciate your passion and your concern, Baronin. And yes, I do care for Cascasaria. Cascasaria is all I have. And with that, you start to see Auden's tears start to really fall. Madame Bula takes a step forward. I was simply protecting my own assets, my own interests. I only wanted to protect Cascasaria. So I did the one thing that no one would suspect an owner of a resort to do. We flash back 60 hours prior. In Madame Bula's office at the Creoker Crest Resort. Outside the door, Leon Redreed stands guard, looking over the balcony of the ballroom, watching the resort employees set up for the Artificers Expo. Inside, we see Madame Bula open a tray for Robin Banks, displaying a row of Cascasaria dessert delights, small fruit squared flavored treats. Robin smiles wryly and immediately pops a lemon treat into her mouth. Madame Bula walks back over with her cane in hand to her desk. Robin, I do not know too much about your line of business, but I can only imagine what I'm proposing may be somewhat of a different job for you. Madame Bula then turns and stares outside of her 3 stained glass windows that look over the center of Cascasaria. Stealing from competitors and competition. Done it. Stealing from my employer? I will admit it's a bit strange. I mean, you just want to stop whoever else is trying to do it, don't you? A long silence fills the office as Madame Bula sighs. Ever since Baronin returned from the events of Palisades, he's been different. And knowing Auron gets more and more unruly by the week. In an instant, Madame Bula swiftly turns around and faces Robin. I'm hiring you because I fear either of them may send someone after me, after it. So I need you to not only steal the Chaosium, but also gain the trust of those who are sent to retrieve it. Here, as Madame Bula pulls off a gold ring that you see is engraved with Nordic runes. This is my most prized possession, Robin. I give you my word. Help me with this. And I promise, I will provide you with everything in my resort. Robin Banks simply laughs, takes the ring in her hand, and crosses her arms. All right, madam. You've got a deal. We cut back to the present. Inside of Baronin de Bolbeck's office. As Robin Banks stands with the Chaosium, everyone in the room getting on edge. Baron and staring at the 5 of you. As Robin smiles at you all. Orcs goes to the highest bidder. She hands the box back to Madame Bula.
You snake. You don't want to live this life. You don't want to be alone.
Maybe I do. Maybe being on my own is the best thing ever. Look, I will... Now that I can speak freely and the guys is fucking off, let me tell you, I've been in groups like this before. You will all be at each other's throats by the end of whatever this is. No one stays together. You can have friends, you can have lovers, you can have anyone in your life, but there's only one person you can rely on, and that is yourself. And that is what I've learned in my business. That is what I do in my business, and that's why I am the greatest thief that is still alive.
As she finishes her sentence, I've grabbed a dagger that's on the side of like Betty and slit her throat.
Have you though?
I grabbed someone's dagger and slit her throat.
Thank you so much for getting us to $500. Jesus. Oops.
I'll show you who's at throats.
Hannah, as you sneak over, the closest person you can find in the vicinity is Lan Redreed, personal guard to Madame Bula. You are able to see on his waist he does have a small elven dagger. You pick up the dagger. You slowly draw it out of his waist. And then in a moment, everything goes wrong. Hannah, as you start to pull the dagger, you see Robin lock eyes with you and know what's coming. Robin then looks at Madame Bula, who knows what's coming. Madame Bula, in an instant, turns to Lan Redreed, who instantaneously, as you pull the dagger out of his waist and turn around to face Robin, is standing right in front of you trying to stop you. But unfortunately, Hannah, you were a little too eager to get to Robin, as the dagger in your hand lunges forward and pierces Lan Redreed into the heart. Lan Redreed then stumbles to his feet, clutching his heart, looking up at Madame Bula. I tried. I'm wrong place. At the wrong time. All I see with my elven eyes is darkness. As he stumbles onto the ground, Betty, you find yourself going to... Weirdly, you feel compelled to go clutch Lan Redreed before he hits the ground. And you notice that over your arms are spilling his golden hair. His beautiful golden locks.
Uh-oh.
As the golden one lays dead in your arms, Betty, Madame Bula stands, clutching the Chaosium in her arms as tightly as possible, backing away, backing against the wall. Robin standing there as well. A job well done, yes, but Robin only works on her own. She is not going to the aid of any employer, especially when her own life is on the line. Madame Bula corners herself against a wall, clutching the box with all of her might. She has dropped her cane at this point, as you see her humbling and just pressing herself against the back wall. Please, I beg of you, just let me leave with it. This is what it is doing. It's causing all of this. Why did you do that?
He shouldn't have stepped in front of me.
You should not have pulled a dagger.
She deserved it. She's a fucking snake.
Do you want to try and stab Robin? You still have the dagger in your hand.
No, I take it to Bula, just as a threat. Drop hit.
No.
No one else needs to die. He's not... He didn't deserve... You caused this. You're the one who had to have this. You obviously have no idea of what you hold. I did this. You did this. Blood is on both of our hands.
Hannah, stop. There's something wrong. This guy, oh boy. What was it they said? The golden one cannot be. What was it? This is him. This is the golden one from that weird when that god talked to us.
You're bringing end times.
What god? I'm not bringing the end times. You're the ones who came after it. It was perfectly safe in my resort. It was perfectly safe under my eyes until Baronin had this idea to steal it from me.
It was going to be anyone, whether it was us or some other group that was good. You have caused this.
You see Auden become more and more unruly in the corner of the room, his chest kind of laboring softly, more and more heavily, ever since Bula, ever since that thing became active, you know it. Ever since Auden slams his hand against his sword on his waist, and he grips it so tightly that his knuckles begin to turn white. Ever since that thing, something has happened here. Bula, pressed up against the wall by your dagger, Hannah stares at Auden. Auden, just please, Auden, calm down. If it is the Chaosium, you cannot let it influence you, please.
Can I run to Auden as he's gripping his sword and just try to pull it out and put it up, like just as a threat, so they're both threatened.
Roll me 2d6 plus skill.
Is that an 8? Any rerolls or tokens?
There are 2 rerolls.
Oh no, it's yours.
Oh god, I have to do it again. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah,
I'm
but
so
it's a
sorry.
success.
It'll be a
regard
mixed
it, yeah.
success
Yeah.
regardless.
Okay.
That is the last of your rerolls.
Jeez, I'm
Thank you,
so
rerolls.
sorry. Oh my god. It's a 4.
Wonderful. Violet, as you go to then pull, as you go to try to pull Auden's massive, like, iron ice sword from his belt, he grabs your wrist, and you feel it snap underneath his grip. As Auden has now broken your wrist, giving you 5 damage, Violet.
God.
As now your right wrist will not be usable. You will not be able to wield any weapons with your right wrist until it is healed.
I want to try to throw several sleeping mushrooms in the air to just make everyone go to sleep because it's getting out of control.
Roll me 2d6 plus skill.
Gosh.
Please be good.
Oh, God
4,
damn it.
5, 6. 6. No tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.
6.
Betty, as you're in a chaotic moment, you try so hardly, like thinking this is the one thing you can do. As you remove the sleeping mushrooms from your belt, you toss them in the air, but unfortunately you are still kind of, as you try to toss the shrooms into the air, you are still holding the dying body, or the dead body, of Leyen Redreed in your arms, and just heartbroken in the moment. You're not able to release your arm fully as you just simply toss the mushrooms up into your own face and knock yourself out. As the 4 of you, Dee's still trying to come to it in a chair. Hannah, Violet, and Braga, you see now Betty has now slumped over Leon's bleeding dead body on the floor, as Bula looks at you and says, "Please stop this right now."
You stop it!
I'm not doing anything. I'm simply asking to take my property and leave.
You can't. It's too late.
I can't leave with my own property.
No, it's not your property. It is the property of old gods. It's not. None of us have any business holding on to that property. You open it right now. You see what happens.
Don't
you have a
open
dead
it.
body right now. Do you want to know what happened, Auden, to your cold snap? We can get proof right now. Do it.
No.
Do you want to know what you have?
I don't have
Then
a-
I lunge forward and open it.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Excuse me, half of us are still passed out.
Roll me 2d6 plus uncanny.
Oh, gosh.
Actually, skill. I'm going to say skill.
Well, 7.
With
No, I'm sorry. 6, 7, 8. That still makes sense.
With an 8, Hannah, you are able to kind of slightly jimmy the box open. You're not able to get it fully, but you're able to get the box open as suddenly you start to see the Chaosium's, this black decrepit wooden box, start to gently start to shudder in Bula's arms as she's using as her old orc woman arms wrap around this box even tighter. Please, I beg of you, don't do this.
Then you don't do this. I am not backing down.
Auden from the other side of the room draws his sword. I love you, Bula. But I lost you. I lost you to your work. I lost you to Cascasaria. I lost you to this thing. This was supposed to be our venture together. This was supposed to be a place that we cultivated and made together. But no. All you care about is your precious city now, and all the people in it. You don't care about us. I see what's on her hand, as he points to Robin's hand. Actually, flashback. He points to Violet's hand, as Auden's promise ring to Bula sits on your hand. I now see what our relationship means to you. All those years of traveling, of adventuring together, of love. And it's for this. Death in an office, a business office. The blood spilled on Cascasaria will not just be our own. Madame Bula, against the wall, just gripping the Chaosium tighter and tighter, now with tears in her eyes. Auden, please. I wanted Cascasaria for the both of us. Let's just speak. Please, Auden, let's just talk. Let's just speak honestly. You want to talk honestly, as you start to see Auden slowly making his way towards Bula, dragging his ice sword behind him as it grinds against the wood floor, giving off the most horrendous sound as he slowly makes his way towards her. We had plenty of time to talk, Bula. And in an instant, Hannah, you are pushed out of the way. And suddenly you see Auden's empty hand fly open the box. The time for talking is now over. Deceit rules, Cascasaria. As he picks up the Chaosium. And in 1 second, he looks at Bula. Their eyes lock. Tears streaming down both of their faces as Baronin, holding Rock behind his desk, stare in terror at what is about to happen.
I just
in
charge.
Cascasaria.
I just charge. No, I can't let this happen. I gotta charge.
Braga, as you start to charge, you're a little too late. As suddenly you see Auden take the Chaosium, raise his sword in the air, and slam the two together. In an instant, you are all blinded by a bright light, and then are pushed back across the room in an explosive aftermath. As your eyes start to readjust to the once dark room, you see standing in the middle of the room is Auden. The flesh and the muscle on the right half of his face and arm are missing, revealing a black stone skull and bones underneath. In his right bony, decrepit arm, a terrifying weapon oozing a gray smoke hovers. What once started as a blade now lies a jagged 10-foot-long black bone blade. Braga, in this moment, you're charging?
Yeah.
Hannah, Violet, D, you look up and you see Braga pick herself up instantly and begin charging towards Auden. You see her just mad and channeling her orc barbarian self as she pushes mercilessly towards Auden.
Braga, no!
You see Auden, the black stone skull side of his face, cracks a smile as he takes both hands and slams his sword into the ground right where you're charging into. And as soon as the three of you see Braga hit the sword, she disappears in a gray-black lightning flash.
No. D. Hannah.
We have to get the fuck out of here right now.
We'll see. I'll bring this love of yours down, Bula. Cascasaria will be no more. As Auden raises his new Chaosium blade into the air and starts to bring it down fiercely onto the ground of Baron and de Bolbeck's office. And that is where we will end tonight's episode of the Rat Queens RPG.
It's gonna have nightmares.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Yes. Look what happens.
God.
Deceit. Who can you trust? Really, no one.
Nope.
No
Apparently
one.
Rock, it
no
turns
one.
out.
No one.
Rock, yeah, she's a rock. What can
Yeah.
we say?
Thank you all so much for joining us on this adventure. I'm so curious to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for voting in the polls. You ultimately determined the ending of that story right there. You determined a lot of big plot elements in tonight's story. So congratulations. You had a very big hand in tonight's episode. And to thank, go ahead and thank everyone who made tonight's episode possible. Thank you, Some Red Shirt.
Some Red Shirt.
Some Red Shirt.
Some Red
Shirt.
Mexican Robin.
Mexican Robin.
PR Fan 2002.
PR Fan 2002.
J Pistol.
J Pistol.
Drek Fletch.
Direct Fletch.
Zauron 23.
Zauron 23.
XMD 884X.
XMD 884X. Got it.
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
J Pistol.
J Pistol.
Barking Darrow.
Barking Darrow.
Doomsday Danny.
Doomsday Danny.
Numpty 524.
Numpty 524.
Doomsday Danny.
Doomsday Danny.
Mexican Robin.
Mexican Robin.
J Pistol.
J Pistol.
Barking Darrow Studio.
Barking Darrow Studio.
Chovanexani.
Chovanni.
Apologies there. J Pistol.
J Pistol.
Zauron 23.
Zauron 23.
And J Pistol
J
again.
Pistol.
Thank you all so much. What will happen to Cascasaria? What were those crystals? What power do they have? There are a lot of mysteries to be solved in the Rat Queens RPG that you will be
Braga?
able to. I know. Where did Braga go? We are
Jeez.
going to find out. Possibly. I'm not going to give it away, actually. I could have teased it. And yes, did we see part of the prophecy happen tonight?
Yes.
Betty was now holding the golden one, which was prophesized in the first episode. So, will we see more prophecies unveiled?
I feel like we
what
kind
does
of
it
unveiled
mean?
one now too. The whole those who try to stop it make it happen. Like
Yep.
that just totally just happened.
Shit.
Wonderful. But before we go, let's go around the table really quickly. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Jessica Lynn Verdi on Instagram, at Jessica Verdi on Twitter, and Ripley Improv is still doing our push for our post-production funding, so go to ripleyimprov.com to find out more.
I am Michelle Wynn Bradley. You can find me everywhere on the internet at I Am Chubby Bunny. You can also find me on my weekly podcast released every Thursday called Sent by Buddies. That's SENPAI, buddies.com. It is a comedy Asian nonsense podcast.
My favorite.
And you can find me at Laurie Michelle J on Twitter and Laurie Michelle Jones on Instagram. And just to reiterate, RipleyImprov.com.
I'm Robbie Silverman. You can find me on Twitter at Riley J Silverman, Instagram at Robbie Silverman. And real quick, my grandma passed away yesterday, which is really tough on me. But she was a huge advocate for adopting shelter animals and treating animals and taking care of animals. So if you have a shelter in your area that you can support, please do.
Wonderful. Oh, we love you, Riley.
you.
And I am your GM Lee. GM G Emily, Emily Rose Jacobson. You can find me at Twitter, frankly_Emily, and Instagram, frankly_Emily with an extra underscore. And I am on the new Mass Effect Adventum podcast that has just been announced today as part of the Patreon for Hyper RPG. If you're part of the $5 Patreon tier, you get access to this new Mass Effect RPG GM'd by Bert. And it was a fun podcast we started, and now we're releasing on Patreon. And you can believe you can go stream it from Patreon today and go have a listen. It's pretty cool. I play a drunk. I can't remember the aliens. A little drunky. I play a drunk, war-torn soldier. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And of course, make sure to keep coming back to Hyper RPG all this week. We've got Warhammer 40K tomorrow. Another exciting battle on the battlefield. You don't want to miss it. And then on Friday, we do have Troll Hunters. Ooh. Monday, of course, we have the return of Kolok every Monday at 6 p.m. And then on Tuesday at 6 p.m., Bloodcurdling Tales in Time. Where will we find Janelle this week? Who knows? Possibly in the Wild Wild West, as was foretold at the end of Season 1. So be sure to keep supporting Hyper RPG. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We can't do what we do without your support and your viewership and your just donations to our show. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and keep adventuring, my queens.